growth as a nation
from energy,
mining,
transport,
construction,
agriculture,
entertainment,
banking,
and health.
Make it that as we bring you insightful and meaningful conversations
To spark your attention.
Sector Spotlight shines another bright light into your homes. This is season. Sector Spotlight.
By beaming into various sectors that are impactful to our growth as a nation
from energy,
mining,
transport,
construction,
agriculture,
entertainment,
banking,
and health.
Make it that as we bring you insightful and meaningful conversations
To spark your attention.
Sector Spotlight.
Sector Spotlight is a program that discusses different sectors of society in life. We're talking about mining, agriculture, manufacturing, transport, and different other sectors of life. And so this program highlights different sectors of what people are doing in our country and the world at large. And so today on Sector Spotlight, I'm joined by wonderful people from the IAM project. These are Mr. Israel Yambala, who is Chief Executive Officer of the IAM project, as well as Mrs. May Yambala, who is the Creative Director at the IAM project. Lady and gentlemen, welcome to Sector Spotlight.
Thank you. Delighted to be here.
Thank you. We are
Such
so
an
grateful
honor.
to be here.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
My name is Martin Lutuna, the host for this program today. And so to help us understand the IAM project, the wonderful guests like I introduced already, maybe first of all, we'll ask the CEO himself, help us understand what the IAM project is all about.
Well, the IAM project is a movement that is, it's a training program, but it's a movement that specializes on personal development and in business. One who can also develop themselves in their business. Basically, it's all about you finding your fitting, knowing who you are, discovering your identity, your purpose, and your influence in the market square. Sure.
Discovering who you are, your purpose, and influence in the market square. That
Yes,
is
sir.
the IAM project.
That is the IAM project.
IAM project. Madam May, what is creative direction? You as a creative director, what exactly do you do with the IAM project?
Well, in terms of as a creative director, I focus on helping people to really discover their creative side, bring out their ideas. Everyone has got ideas, they've got giftings, they've got skills, and a lot of people are living life in such a way that they have not really discovered how to unlock their ideas, how to develop their skills, their talents, their giftings. And so my main area in the organization is really to bring out the potential that is hidden in an individual.
So you believe as the IAM that there is potential out there that
Yes.
in individuals, whoever they are, there is that potential that you
Yes.
must unlock. Isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, so how did you discover this problem that the potential is locked up somewhere, and now let's come up with this IAM project? How did you do that?
Well, it basically came from the story of our lives. When we got married, we had...
Sorry for that.
Okay. Okay. When we got married, we had great dreams. We had great ambitions. We had great aspirations. And we had the potential to the point where even our parents, they saw it. My own father-in-law, her father, literally blessed us and continually stated a blessing to say, I see greatness in this couple. But when we started our journey, we had failure after failure. And so we discovered that there is a huge gap between potential and capacity, or should we say potential and fruit, the actual result. And so what was the bridge between that? it was actually not really running with ideas, having concepts, or having capital to start a business or to start up a home. It was all about developing oneself, building yourself from within, education, knowing your purpose, knowing your identity. And when we got onto that journey in the first years of our marriage, that's when the Lord actually gave us that burden. And in 2021 was the first time when we actually stepped out and made this, put it into structure and put it into a frame so that we could actually run with it.
The name I Am Project, how did it come about? Why the I Am?
The name I Am, initially it speaks of God's identity. When God revealed himself to Moses in the book of Exodus, chapter 3 and chapter 4, God revealed him to say, I am that I am, meaning I am the ever-present one. And what you say I am is what I will be. And that
so it's a biblical name?
It's a biblical name.
Are you pastor or something? Are you a pastor?
No. Yes, I am. But you know, wonderfully enough, I am, from the fun point of view, it is I, meaning Israel, A and M, May. So it's I am Israel and May. And so it is, when we're literally, although that wasn't really the actual concept, we were actually thinking about I am, because we are pastors in Praise Christian Center. We are in ministry. And so when we were thinking about, let's look at something that really bring and build people's identity, because identity is before function. People function based on their identity. But we just looked at, as we were looking at I am, wow, this is Israel and May. So let's run with Israel.
So it comes with a pastoral heart. You are doing a ministry through the project, the I Am project.
Yes, we're doing ministry, but not church.
Not church.
Yeah, it is ministry, business ministry, but not really church.
Okay.
Yeah, we've managed to draw that line.
Okay.
Yes.
So it doesn't. You don't confuse it with church ministry and
no.
And the I Am project.
No. Yeah. Because in this I Am project, we are into coaching people. We are into training people.
Not only Christians.
Even Christians, especially Christians. Actually, a huge problem, the people that have really benefited the most in this program are the Christians. But in church, it's different. You can train people based on their pace. But in there I Am, it's a different level. It's a bit more intense. It's a bit more time-bound. And so it requires
When did you
more.
begin the I Am project? When did it start?
Well, like he mentioned, officially we started in 2021.
Yeah.
Yes, we passed through 10 failed businesses.
Okay.
10
We
failed
have a
businesses.
very interesting story.
Okay.
You know, we
Tell
moved,
us.
we've done charcoal. The
Interesting.
funniest one is
Bees.
beekeeping.
Oh, you were doing
Yes.
honey.
Yes, we were told that, look, the government is giving money for beekeeping, so you just have to buy hives to prove that you are doing something in that
Yes.
line. And so we bought hives, took them to the farm in Kabwe, and for 6 months the bees never entered the hives, and we never understood why.
Really?
Yes,
Interesting.
so
Yeah.
we did charcoal, we've done chickens, we've done so many businesses.
Boutiques.
We've done
Boutiques.
boutiques.
Yes.
You know, where people would come to us and tell us, in this there's money. When you just invest so much, this is what you will get out of it. And some of them came authentically. It was working for them, but it never worked for us.
Were you swindled in the process?
Yes, we were. The
yes.
last one, we were swindled of $7,000.
Oh, that's a
$7,000.
lot of
Somebody
money.
just told
That's
us,
a
and
lot
it's
of
someone we knew personally. We trusted them, and I think it was working for them.
It was
But at the
working for
time
them as
when
well.
they showed us
Yeah.
everything, and we
Yeah.
made that investment at Indarama Zangeni.
Zangena, yeah, I see.
You know,
I
we
see.
were swindled in the process because everybody is looking to live well, to
Yes.
get established,
Yeah.
and to add value to their communities. But after the swindling, that's when the awakening came.
That's right.
You know, I personally heard God say to me, do you know what your problem is? And at that time, I was very depressed, a depressed pastor. We were in ministry that time, we were pastors, and I was very depressed and asking, Nishi, how can you really succeed? And a voice came to me and told me that the reason you've been struggling is because you've not invested in what I have put in you.
Exactly.
And God told me in each person, before they are sent into the earth, there is a pattern, there is a plan, there is a purpose that I've put in them. And with that purpose comes skills and giftings to help them execute that purpose. And so your purpose is your gold mine. That voice clearly told me, your purpose is your gold mine. It's your gold mine. If you find that thing I've put in you, that is what has got the mark to really distinguish you, cause you to add value in your community, and make you rich.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
What were the vision? I know you have goals and objectives. Let's come up with the IAM project. Then what?
Yes.
What did you have in mind? Yeah.
Our vision is mainly to bring people to discover their potential and come to the place where they have an awareness of God-given gifts and talents in their lives, to bridge the gap between potential and fulfillment. So it's all about getting people to discover their gifts, just like she said, their talents, and mainly getting them to live the life they were meant to live.
Which they are not living now.
Which they are not living now. There is no person that is without significance. And people tend to look at themselves based on their inadequacies. But God doesn't look at us based on our inadequacies. He has equipped us to be just as perfect. Just because we don't have this, we don't have that, it doesn't mean we don't have what it takes to become what He wants us to be. And the I Am Project's vision is bringing people to that place of not self-awareness, but God-awareness. Yeah.
Okay. Well, who is your target in all this as IAM project?
Our target is everybody, especially the youths and the retired. We've had, when we were looking at this thing, the main aspect God gave us, or should we say the first people we were attracting were the youths, people who are from the age of 14 to the age of 30. Those are people who are going through cycles in their lives where at that time,
are you a university, college, or training center? Who is IAM project?
We are a training center.
We are a training
Yes.
center.
So we have set up a training center where individuals, entrepreneurs can come and be trained and developed.
For how long?
We have different programs. Sometimes we hold workshops which are 1 to 2 days, and other times we have cohorts. We have two main programs. The first one is a personal development program, which is 3 months. Someone can enroll. We pass them through the phases of overcoming limiting beliefs, then purpose discovery. They do a SWOT analysis, and it comes with practicals. So every program comes with a workbook, and they're attached to an accountability partner. Because the biggest challenge we've found in terms of succeeding and walking in your purpose is actually doing the work. First, figuring out what you're supposed to do and doing it. In the church, we noticed a big problem. We are someone who receive a prophetic word and they're excited, I'm great, I'm going somewhere. But come Monday, they go back into the usual routine, back into the old person. And somehow they are still expecting that thing to happen. So for you to really actualize the potential that God has put in you, your mindset must change. The way that you think, the way that you see yourself, the way that you do things, your skills, your talents, everything around you must change. So we train them in terms of purpose discovery, discovering their philosophy. Then we go into goal setting. We teach people how to set actual, real, tangible goals.
That sounds very interesting. Where
Yes.
are you found if someone is watching and they're already getting, interested in
Interested,
the
yes.
IAM
Interested.
project? Where
Yes.
do they find you?
Yes.
How do they enroll and whatnot?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are found at Oasis Shopping Mall. That's opposite Intercity, next to former Mukua Pension House. Now it's Zesco. Shop number 71.
Oh, that
so
tall
that's,
building?
Yes,
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
where
that
we are
next to
found.
it, yeah.
Yes, though we are relocating to a bigger premises, which we'll be able to share in due time. Within a month or so, we'll be
So
able to
you
share
don't
that.
have permanent trainees that are there for a long time, like 2 years, 3 years. You is just 2 days, 3 months,
Yes.
6 months.
Yes.
You are offloading
Yes,
people into the market.
The longest course we've had is 6 months. We
6.
have available is 6
So
months.
they are short courses.
They are
Yes.
short courses, and in fact, these courses are coaching courses. Yes. So
are you
even-
accredited with TVETA, or is it Ministry of Education? Where do you get your accreditation?
We are accredited with TVETA, yes, and we are also accredited with the school in America.
Okay.
Yes, the coaching program we attended in America, we are also accredited there. But we are mostly even actually in the process of having ourselves authenticated with the Education, Ministry of Education, which we have worked with in terms of sponsoring children to school, and also going to government schools within our communities where our church is in Chawama. We go to their schools, to private school, government schools, and teach.
Well, my next question is, how do you relate with government? How do you work?
We relate with
partnership?
government we partner with them by providing trainings for identity at least once in a month. You know, actually, first it was once a month, but then because of the irregularity programs of the examination, we moved it to once a term. So one of the schools that we've worked with is Twatasha and a few other government schools within the community, where we look at students from grade 10, between grade 10 and grade 12, and we teach them about identity. Who are they? Who are they in the eyes of God, and so on. The grade 12 students, we teach them we help teach them in aspects of what they can aspire to become in terms of career
Mr. CEO,
development and so
do you
on.
think you're doing enough with the IAM project? Because it is, you talk about identity, people knowing who they are, but it's in this season that we see a lot of suicide cases, mental issues, and it's like people haven't discovered who they are. So do you think you have an impact as the IAM project on the community?
Yes, we have an impact. We have an impact. We are doing a lot, but to say that we are doing enough is not true. We believe we can still do more because of the need that is in society, the need that is out there, especially in the terms of mental wellness. You know, right now the suicide rate within the youth, it has increased, meaning that young people are giving up on life. They think that life is hard, you can't make it, and so on. Even the suicide rate of those people who have retired has also increased. Like I said earlier, our target is for those people who can still see relevance. And the fruit of what we have been able to do has really yielded tremendous results. But however, it is our dream to actually see that we can do more. We can do more. And with what we've done, of course, we have done so much, but to do more is what we can say we are.
That said, what are some of the challenges that you faced in the course of your implementation of this project to now? Where have you been? What are some of the challenges you've encountered?
Well, I would say some of the challenges as an organization that we've encountered is not having enough financial muscle to reach more people. We are looking at a situation where in 2 years, 5 years, we'll be able to host major conferences, workshops, and coaching programs for free to the average youth, the entrepreneur, those who are looking to rebuild their life. Because in the society that we're in, many people cannot afford paid programs. They would love to come and attend, but they have so many constraints financially And so we are looking at a situation where we can have more partners on board who can be able to assist us to fund and reach as many schools,
That says,
colleges,
who
universities.
funds the IAM project? How do you fund yourself?
Currently, it's a personally funded project. Yes.
You're funding it as husband and wife?
As
Yes,
husband and
as
wife,
hus-
yes.
Yes, because of the
That's
burden.
gracious.
Yes, the burden that we have had. We saw a problem in church where people are in the church praying for years and the situation is not changing and they think it's warfare, they think it's demons. But actually, God has given us a responsibility to rebuild, to build and develop that which He has put in us.
Are you open to funding?
We are.
Or maybe you're saying as a couple we are okay. We don't need your help.
We are
very
open. Recently, we just partnered with another organization called the Wupilo Young Generation.
Yes.
Yes, the founder is Mercy Katebe, and she is coming in to.
That's a famous name.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yes.
and it's a great
Yes.
organization. It's a counseling organization. We noticed that apart from trainings and prayer, you know, the church has got the part that they play where they give the people the word, they pray for them. We are coming in to train and coach and hold them accountable. Our program is not just a training program, by the way. It has activities, it has assignments, and each person is attached to an accountability partner. Because, you know, when you are so used to doing things in a certain way for years, it's like a tree that has been planted. To
Rooted
change
for a
the
long
habits,
time.
to change how you do things takes time. And so many people start and they are not consistent. They drop out. They think, oh, I can't do it. So when you attach them by force to someone, they are forced to do certain things until it becomes habit. And then there is now the counseling section. I think it's something we've really been lacking in Zambia. People are committing suicide because they don't know who to talk to. They've trusted in certain people who are close to them, and those people have abused that information and exposed it to other family members to ridicule them, you know, and not helped them. And so many people are scared to confide in friends or relatives because it works out for the worst. But now partnering with Wupilo Young Generation, we're able to provide counseling for people that are depressed, people that are frustrated. They feel like they've hit a dead end and they don't know what to do. It's always great to speak to somebody who's outside of your box because they're able to see more options.
How open is the IAM project when it comes to young people opening up? You've partnered with that organization for counseling, and you've just said it's difficult. People don't want to open up. How open is the IAM project that people can come and trust you to open up with what they're going through? What are you doing?
Well, it's a professional organization with qualified counselors. So discretion is our first value in the organization. You will speak to somebody who is qualified. They understand what you're going through, not just from an emotional point of view, but from a professional and spiritual point of view. They will be able to hear what you have to say, listen to you, and guide you on what you can do. And you are assured that that information is not going outside of the walls of that place where you are discussing with that counselor.
We provide, one of the things we provide is a safe space.
Yes.
A safe space environment for each client that will come in, or potential client, individual that will come in. So that safe space should it's intended to make a person feel free
To speak out.
to speak out.
Yeah.
And when they speak out, when they are made whole, because bringing a person to a place of wholeness is our ultimate agenda.
Yeah.
It's not really about empowering them with information, telling them you need to start a business like this, you need to do that. That's why in our program, we prefer to start them with personal development.
Yes.
One of the first programs that we introduce them to is the Life You Deserve.
Yes.
And in the Life You Deserve, we have 10 courses there. And in the first 2 courses, we talk about life assumptions. And it's broken down into the assumptions that captured Israel, and then the assumptions that captured May. And then we talk about vision. We talk about God. What is your perspective? We talk about philosophy. What is your philosophy? And what is the world's philosophy? What's the right philosophy you need to have for you to become this? So in our interactions, we create a safe space for someone now to open up and say, I need help in this area, in that area. I would be glad to say, Mr. Lutuna, that the feedback has been tremendous. It has been very, very, very tremendous. And that's why we could even say that it's really a God move, a God movement in which people have actually found a sense of recovery.
That is interesting and good to hear about
Yes.
what you're doing. That said, what are the qualifications or requirements for someone to enroll with the IAM project?
The qualifications for someone to enroll, just be willing to desire to change.
They don't need money.
You don't. First of all, of course, you need to attend our workshops. We have free workshops. You just need to.
When are they
come.
conducted?
We have a
Once
calendar.
every month.
We have them once every month. We have online programs which we have every week called the 5 a.m. Club that my wife always sees. It's a motivational, inspirational weekly program that can keep someone encouraged, because encouragement is food to the soul. And then for our specific programs, all you need to do is just pay and enroll. We don't look at academic qualifications. We don't look at whatever you've gone through. We don't want your CV. If you really want to change, the main thing we're looking for is your desire. To be quite frank and honest, someone who's not willing to change would not appreciate this program. They would not appreciate the IAM project at all. That's why I say it's different from a church setup. So someone can even come and one time told me to say, look, Pastor, I have half of this amount, but I really want to change. We would see you in how you respond and how you relate in the classes. And if someone is not really showing that interest to see their life developed, then we won't take them to the next level. Because if someone will not be serious to take themselves to the next level, there's nothing I can do in all that I know.
Pastor
to take
Israel,
them up
have
there.
you had someone that came through to IAM project, they trained, and then they've gone out there and it hasn't worked, what you taught them? Or you can say it has been 100%. Each one is succeeding where they are. And
To be
everything is
honest,
working.
to be honest, I have had a few people who have come to me and said, this information it's useless. I've tried it, I've practiced it, but it's not working. And I've had people who have said it is working. However, to those people who have said it is not working, it has never worked because of one thing.
Which is?
They never believed it would work.
At the start.
At the start. They went in with doubt. They saw the information with skepticism.
It's the mindset.
The mindset was wrong from the beginning. You see, it's like you're giving someone Panadol and they are thinking within their mindset that you're giving them poison. The mind has got so much power to take a person into the wrong state. That's why Scripture says, Proverbs 23 verse 7, says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So in our agenda to bring about mind transformation and renewal, one must believe that this is going to work. And we encourage people, before they want to join the IAM project, let them research on the IAM project. Let them see and interview the people who have come out successfully of the IAM project. Everything we have taught in the IAM are our own life experiences, the lessons we have had to learn from the hard path of life, you see. And we are standing here to say, this thing has worked because we are not where we used to be.
Have you had someone not willing to learn, but to have a shortcut to get to finish quickly? Give us capital, Mr. and
Give us
Mrs.
capital,
Yambala.
we want to start.
Capital, I want to start. But it's
Very
follow
much.
the process and then they are not willing. You've had
Very
those
true.
moments.
She can actually.
Yes. So
She can relate
when
with
Pastor
that.
Israel talks about belief, we measure belief based on action.
Yeah.
If you really believe, you will do things in a particular way.
Right.
So when someone enrolls in the program, we have a Bible reading program, a 90-day Bible reading program. We have a prayer program. We have a group discussion. Every day, each participant has to write their to-do list, what they are doing on that day. There is writing the gratitude list at the end of the day. So we explain why they have to do all these things, because it creates a certain atmosphere. There is saving 5 to 10% of every amount of money that comes into your hand every day. So there are all these activities I can mention that they have to do. And for those that are in business, they have to record their daily sales every day. They have to record their daily expenses every day. They need to know how much stock they have. So depending on what you're doing, if you're married, there are also activities we add. So it's tailor-made according to the person's life. So if you're married, you have to pray together with your husband. You have to go out on a date at least once a month. You know, if you have children, yes, it's a requirement. It's not optional.
How do you track that? You're not there with them.
We ask for evidence. First of all, they have the accountability partner, a stranger that they don't know who is also in the program. We tie them together. Then we ask for evidence. So if you didn't capture it, then it didn't happen. That's what we say. If you didn't capture it, so when it comes to saving, we use the Airtel Money platform. It's called Patumba. Yeah, we don't get anyone's money and save it for them and say we'll give it back to you. No, they save it in their own phone. And Airtel Money is something that you always have your phone with you. It's something you can easily do. So when you save, you take a screenshot of that and you share it. Yeah. We're able to see.
That's every day.
Yes, or not really every day, but as often as you have your income. So others might not get money every day. Others who are in business get money every day. So according to how often, but at least it should be minimum weekly.
So you are not dishing out money; they are making money themselves.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. In the Life You Deserve, we also we teach people about money management. There is also a business training in there. There is relationship training, the value of people. You know, a lot of people have this thing of, no, me, I'm an introvert. I don't like being around people. But God works through people. Opportunities open through people. You go to your next level through people. So we teach them how to relate with their spouse, with their children, with their relatives, with co-workers. We teach all of that. But we don't only teach, we give them assignments. And when the assignment is done, evidence must come back.
So there's someone out there who is watching and they have the potential, but the means they don't have. And they are coming across the IAM project for the first time today. What next steps should they take in the immediate?
Our motto at the IAM project is simple. Dare to believe, be the prophet of your environment. You see, so if you really want to join the IAM project, come, let us talk. Let us see your hunger and your desire to change. Our desire is that one should become a prophet of their own environment. It came during the same period when people were sick of COVID during the same 2021. And there was a lockdown. And even prophets could not be able to pray for people because prophets were also sick of COVID.
Yes.
And they were also dying. And the Lord spoke to us to say, no, you don't need someone to speak into your life. You can speak in your life. You don't need people to make things happen for you. You need to make things happen. All you need is a desire and a will to make the right decision to go forward. So your decision is what we are looking for. And if you want to join the IAM project, join it. Make that decision. And everything else will live by these decisions you have made.
I would like to add to that as well, that your next level requires sacrifice. Our programs are actually very affordable. Workshops are only 300 kwacha per person, and the coaching program, The Life You Deserve, is only 1,500 kwacha for the entire 6 months. It's very, very affordable. And I'll tell you something, we like to give excuses when it comes to things that are worthwhile. But if you hear that, Falei Pupa is coming to Zambia, somehow people will find the money.
They'll go there.
If your child got sick today, you didn't have Ngwe, you will find the money for their CT scan or something because it's important to you. When we were in the 10 businesses that we failed, we didn't have money. We were in poverty. We were suffering. At some point, Pastor Israel and I were living in our parents' garage for 3 years.
Really?
In that garage, we couldn't afford. We said we can't afford a house. This is now rock bottom. This is where we can be. But we started a business in that garage. When somebody came to us and told us, when you put in a 3,000, you will get so much. That motivation inspired us to find that 3,000. So
Which
when
they
you
swindled
know,
you.
yes, we
They
don't
were
even
looking for money and then they came to
But they
get
get
money
us
from you.
You see
while
what
we're
I
in the
mean?
garage.
Yes.
So when something is really a solution to your life, you will find the means
To get it.
to get it.
Yeah.
You know, and I learned that from one of our mentors, who is my sister-in-law. Her name is Nachumi. You know, she said she's in America. She has all these opportunities. And she said, it's not my responsibility to build your life. And when I just give you what you need, you will not value it. There must be a sacrifice on the person that wants and desires change in their life. You know?
Now, the two of you have written books to that effect.
Yes.
Is it business related and whatnot?
Yes.
Some of them are here with us. This
Yes.
one is Purposeful Entrepreneur.
Yes.
How to go beyond 5 years in business.
Yes.
Hodlime Yambala.
Yes.
Written by yourself.
Yes.
How did you come up with such an excerpt? This is so powerful.
Yes.
Yeah. What
So this
inspired
book
you?
is The Purposeful Entrepreneur. It's inspired by our journey. Yes, we made a lot of mistakes in business,
Yeah.
not only investing in the wrong things. Certain businesses were actually good. There was a time we had a bridal business, and it was doing well. And you know, when the dollar doubled, we decided to close that business.
Bridal, as you were catering for newlyweds?
Newlyweds, yes. You know, we used to bring in our gowns from America, and it was doing well. But then when things got tough, we decided to close down. That is one business I feel if we continued, it would have worked. But you know, one thing about this book, what this book talks a lot about is systems in business.
Okay.
Yes, systems in business. Many entrepreneurs think that, oh, if I just have a product and display it, the clients will come and the business will grow and this will happen. And we made that mistake for many years, only to come to a place after training where we discovered that every business, no matter how small it is, needs financial management. It needs proper marketing. It needs human resource. You as an entrepreneur, your money and the business money must be separate. You must have certain disciplines of customer service, opening early, attending to customers well, attending to customer complaints, you know, taking care of your organization. You must have an operational procedure.
I wish, Pastor May, you could teach this to many business people, because what you're explaining in this book is different from what we see in many supermarket, grocery shop, and you are there, you're bringing money. This is a person who you are giving, you are helping their business.
Yes,
and
that's
they treat
exactly
you,
what it is.
They treat you like you don't matter.
Like you
Yes.
don't matter.
Imilani huko, mupuna chani,
Yes.
change mbekezani. And this
Yes.
person doesn't even want to smile at you. But you have
Exactly.
money that you're bringing. But
Can you
these
imagine?
insights that you're sharing here,
Yes.
how come business people in Zambia, they don't know them, most of them?
They need training. I'll tell you the truth. This morning, we encountered it at the filling station when we were putting fuel in our
Tell
car.
me more.
We
On our
get
way
to
coming
this
here.
filling station,
Yeah.
and we're the ones asking them, they're just standing there like, wondering like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. We are looking at them and they are looking elsewhere and making themselves
Did
busy.
they have fuel?
They did.
They did,
And then
apparently.
when we reach closer and we're asking her, is there fuel here? Like for the 5th time. And then she just gives us a sign like, come this way.
Yeah. So
We
that's-
drove
that's-
off and
that's the
said we're going to
mentality.
the
Yeah.
next station.
That's the mentality.
Yes,
we
the
say.
customer service is
Yeah.
terrible because employees have not been trained to understand that what you said, you are helping that business to grow. Without the client, there is no business.
No, there can't be.
Yes,
Yeah.
the client is the primary focus of a business. And many people think like they are doing their clients a favor.
Maybe the IAM project should be forced on these businesses. That,
Yes, we want
get
to partner with government in that area.
They learn these things because
Yes.
the business mentality is not so, it's not pleasing. If
No,
you,
not
if
at
you
all.
must ask me.
It's terrible.
People have, they are not, maybe it's because there's a salary at the month end. Whether I
Exactly.
do it, I don't do it, I'll be paid.
Exactly.
And so you go to this fuel station, the girl or boy, they know there'll be a salary at the month end.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
sir, Mr. Lutuna, when no business will grow when there is comfort. Yeah.
It won't
Whenever-
grow when there is
It
comfort.
will never grow when there is comfort. Even a person, growth will never be achieved when there is comfort. And I speak this on the side of personal development and business development. So people who usually in organizations, the problem that is usually there is employees, they tend to stagnate an organization
Yeah.
because of their salary. The employees are comfortable with just their salary. They don't want to increase. They are not interested in the state
They're
of the
afraid to
organization.
fail, isn't it?
They are afraid to fail, so they just want to maintain
Status quo.
the status quo. As long as they are getting a salary, they're doing what they need to do. So they'll come on time and they leave early on time. So whenever you try to maintain status quo, you decline and you lose morale. Hence the need for leadership, the need for oversight, insight and oversight, you know, and a different perspective to why are you in an organization and why are you even living here today.
A lot must be done in that regard. I mean, other than the purposeful entrepreneur, this one is through the fire, overcoming
yes.
tastes of life. Israel
Yes.
Yambala. You've written one also as your
Yes.
wife.
Yes.
Were you writing at the same time, or did someone
No.
begin first? Which one came first between
No,
these two?
what
books?
came first was a
The
purposeful.
Purposeful
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur.
Purposeful
Then you were
entrepreneur.
inspired to also write.
Actually, this is my second book.
It's
Yes.
a second
Yes,
one.
my
Okay.
first book was Dare to Believe, Be the
Dare
Prophet
to
of
Believe,
Your Own
okay.
Environment. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, I started writing it in 2024. Yeah, it started from a sermon that I was preaching on Sunday
Okay.
on the tests that you go through, the difference between tests and temptations. And one of our members
From
came
the book
to,
of James.
from the book of
Yes.
James, yes,
Yeah.
primarily from the book of James,
Yeah.
James chapter 1, chapter 1, verse, I think 1 to 9,
Yeah.
and chapter 2. And then one of our members said, you know, why don't you write a book about it? So when I sat down to write the book, I went back on a reflective path to say, actually, it's a refinery. Life's tests are usually a refinery process
Yeah.
where we go through things, and the things we go through have the capacity to build and make us to become better. You know, many people will see that the things they go through can literally take away from them. They reduce them. Napita mavuto so ine nachita so batate wange wanamwalira so manje ne kuli beva so they see themselves as disadvantaged because of the misfortunes they have faced.
So in here you talk about the heart, you're talking about time wasting,
Oh, yes.
promotion,
Oh, yes.
in the wilderness, the
Oh,
armor
yes.
of God,
Oh,
and,
yes.
the furnace of affliction. So in a brief, just give us an overview of what is contained here.
Well, this book, it's all about the tests of life and what God wants to build out of you. What is God's focus? How is God raising you as his child and as his beloved? And he passes you through a fire as he refines silver. As a refiner is refining silver and gold. Now, silver and gold are refined with different heat, and the heat is usually the afflictions that we go through. And then we talk about it on both angles.
No.
There is a fire that of promotion.
No.
There is a fire of going through difficulties. But in all this, what is God looking at? He's looking at purifying your heart. He's looking at making you a better person from the inside.
So you live the life you deserve.
Yes, because if you are good on the inside, you know, people try to change their environment without changing inside. But the environment can change